What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Gooner channel, a channel 100% dedicated to the Arsenal, who, as we all know, are by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. But yesterday's 2-2 result still bothering me. Really difficult. Not just because we were ahead twice, not just because we always want to beat Tottenham, not just because Man City look like they're running away with it already and there's only 6 games played, but because I think this game exposed some of our weaknesses this season. Cracks that previous games have papered over, and yesterday we just weren't able to do it. Any hopes that we had that Postecoglou was naively going to come and try and attack us in a very cavalier fashion out of the window. And when it came to it, his calmness was almost emblematic of what they were doing a bit better than us, and they controlled themselves a little bit better. That said, Udogi's early yellow card looked like it had the makings of a game winner for us. And the key thing is, when I'm talking about our weaknesses, I'm talking about tiny little differentials. The game, as we know at this level, is about very small margins indeed. And if you needed proof of that, it is in Jorginho uncharacteristically giving the ball away. It is in Jesus nicking the ball off Maddison for a gilt-edged opportunity and then skying it over the bar. Now, I know he's not an out-and-out goal scorer, but that goes in, and we're 2-0 up. Whole game's different. There's going to be small margins between any of the big clubs. And at the moment, you have to say that Tottenham are playing with a swagger of big club. Confidence makes all the difference. And they do have some key players. And they have strengthened since last season, although that's not saying a great deal. But one of the things that's been coming up a lot with fans everywhere is that we have Jesus. He is a great forward player. He can play across the front three. We have Trossard, we have Martinelli, we have Saka, we have great forwards. But we also have Eddie Nketia. And I think yesterday for me was the apex of my frustration with him, because this was a game in which he had been left up front with Jesus moved out wide so that he could make those bursts into the box, and it just did not happen. He was playing yesterday much more almost in the position of a false nine. Now, he had that one run on goal and shot, which was in itself frustrating. But I said yesterday, and I'm going to stick by it, if a forward gets into the box and wants to have a shot, that's fine. If it somehow squeezes past Vicario into the near post and it's a goal, then nobody's criticising him. But that was his only shot. He had 22 touches, stayed on the pitch for 90 minutes and had 22 touches. He made 6 successful passes and gave the ball away 8 times. It's not fair to say he was peripheral. He was missing. Now, I don't know if it was the occasion that got to him or that, we were prevented from finding him by a solid defensive strategy from Tottenham. Certainly, our build-up through the middle just did not happen. Zinchenko, instead of inverting into that midfield, his average position found him wide on the left. There was a cluster on that left around Jesus. The changes that were made at half-time, Vieira coming off for Kai Havertz and Jorginho coming on for Declan Rice, you have to say, apart from the error from Jorginho, he really was... Well, he was passing the ball really well. He was winning his duels. He was doing what you want somebody to keep in the ball. And I know we're all sitting here disappointed because of that ridiculous... And I feel so bad for him. If there's one player on a pitch you don't expect to give a ball away like that, it is Jorginho. But I keep coming back to Eddie Nketia. Not in the box enough. When Tottenham are forcing our build-up play out wide, we need somebody in and around that's going to create space by moving and offer themselves. And Eddie just didn't do that. The other player Arteta started instead of Kai Havertz was Vieira. Vieira was pretty average. If you're being kind, you say pretty average. He managed 20-something touches in the first half. His passes weren't enough of them, wasn't incisive enough, wasn't winning his ground duels. And when Kai Havertz came on to replace him, that's a weakness exposed for me. Because I am a Vieira in this instance, you can't really heap praise on Kai Havertz. He didn't really grab the game by the scruff of the neck either, and he just hasn't settled in yet. Now, I know that Thomas Partey's injured and we've lost Declan Rice, but it's starting to look like we need to be thinking about a midfield acquisition in January. And by then, it could potentially be too late. It's starting to feel like we need somebody else. But then I think about it and I see that we've got Emil Smith-Rowe on the bench. And one of the things that I was really frustrated about yesterday, and I still am today, was that if you're prepared to give Kai Havertz a chance instead of Vieira, Emil Smith-Rowe has not been given a chance. We've been told that he's been repurposed into that left 8 position, but it just is not happening. And the thing about Emil Smith-Rowe, the thing that he offers you that neither of the other two seem to at the moment, at least haven't shown so far, is progressive ball carrying. What we really needed to do was burst into that box. And I think even with the 3 or 4 minutes he had on the pitch, there were moments where he was doing that. Certainly holding the ball up better. Arteta is going to take some criticism for yesterday. But the thing that's exposed really is that, well, we need a striker. I know that there's been all kinds of murmurings about Ivan Toney in the last couple of weeks, and I've not really understood it. I kind of hoped it's not true. I felt that Eddie Nketia deserved a bit more time. My criticisms of Eddie Nketia last season came back all over again on Sunday, though, because, well, look, my criticism of him last season was if he's not scoring a goal, he's not doing anything else. And you're talking about a player who passed the ball 6 times and lost it 8 times. That's the contribution of Eddie Nketia. One shot near post at the keeper, when squaring it would have been a far higher percentage probability of a goal. People weren't finding him and he wasn't finding space. His average position was too deep. I mean, look, if we had an Ivan Toney to throw on, I think we would have done yesterday. The question mark of how does he stay on for 90 minutes still baffles me a little bit. But I guess it's explained by Rice's injury because, you know, Jorginho and Havertz are already on for midfield replacements. But I think when you got Reece Nelson on the bench, you got Emil Smith-Rowe on the bench, move Jesus back into the middle. It's frustrating, but what's really frustrating about this is that this season is starting to feel like the mood can swing against us. It's starting to look a lot like a title challenge is a challenge. I hate to say that. I don't want to believe it. I'm not sure we can rely too much on January, but whatever else, I know Balogun wasn't going to stay and there was no way we could keep him. We got good money from him and I don't think he was the answer either. But if we are going to be serious at the top, we need to have somebody at the top that can put the ball in the onion bag. And he's one of ours. He's one of our own. He comes from Helland. I love him, Eddie, all of that. But look, at the highest level of elite sports, you have to be at the highest level of elite sports. And who but the most die-hard, rose-tinted glasses wearing gooner could say that Eddie Nketia is the one? The good news today, and I do want to end on some good news, is that the injuries to Trossard and Martinelli look like they're clearing up. Declan Rice isn't considered to be a long-term injury, and thank God. But still hurting, and I'm sure you are as well. Let me know in the comments. Apart from that, I just want to say massive thank you for watching and for subscribing. I'm 26 away from 500, which is a massive landmark to hit. So if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and click like so that more people get to see this video. And I'm looking forward to your comments. They're always outstanding and I do answer every single one. Till then, be lucky. Lots of love.